Good morning, and thank you for coming to the Mortgage Lenders Licensing and Elimination of Credit Score press conference. Today, we are gathered here with Mr. Tony Bryant, Atlanta Urban League, and other independent brokers. Mortgage brokers and loan officers in Georgia are suffering due to extreme mortgage testing requirements. New federal requirements under the SAFE Act require all persons engaging in mortgage loan activities to be licensed by January of 2010. The SAFE Act requires mortgage loan originators to pass a written qualified test. Originator test consists of two components, a national component and a unique state component. Only 67% of participants pass the national component. This test has affected so many people in the state of Georgia and in the 35th district that I represent. This is unacceptable. People have lost jobs, businesses, and income due to new mortgage licensing requirements. Professionals have experience in the industry should have been grandfathered into this law. We should not force them to close their doors. Another issue hurting Georgia's economy is the use of credit scores in the hiring process and in buying homes. Employment credit checks cannot predict job performance. Credit reports were designed to predict the likelihood of a consumer that would default on a loan, not whether they would steal or behave irresponsibly in the workplace. So it's unacceptable again to use credit scores not only in the requirements for hiring people in the state of Georgia, but also when they are purchasing a home. One study presented to the American Psychological Association demonstrated that credit history does not correlate with employee conduct. The study found that, quote, from a practical standpoint, there is no benefit from using credit history to predict employment performance or overturn, end of quote. Credit reports are also accurate. A 2007 marketing research survey reported that 37% of people found an error on their credit report. And credit scores are even worse because if you have library books that are overdue, it will adversely affect your credit score. And they want to use credit scores down in order to look at whether you should get a job or buy a home. We all need to come together to move the state forward and improve our economy. I have Mr. Tony Bryant, who is going to speak with us in just a minute. And he is joined by many. And this group is sending a letter to the governor appealing to the governor to extend the test like they did for other people who were to be certified, like cosmetologists, construction industry, acupuncturists, and the list goes on. We make laws to protect citizens, not to harm them. These mortgage bankers, loan officers, brokers are citizens of Georgia too. Let's put them back to work. Let's not destroy their businesses and let's not take away their incomes. Many have been providing assistance to citizens in our communities for over 30 years, granting affordable loans to churches, families, and businesses in the African American community. When major banks would not or did not even look at trying to give them a loan, and if they gave them one, Mostly it was high interest and multiple fees. These are not criminals providing bad loan service. These are individuals and businesses who loan to the thousands of our tax-paying citizens, even with excellent credit, who were never in debt, with A-plus debt, who managed and were successfully paying their bills. We're also appealing to our Congress persons to amend the law on the federal level as well, and also to make sure that since credit scores are not mandated by law, and it was something that was created by the banks in 1998, that they are no longer used when it's a VA loan or FHA loan that's 100% guaranteed. Why then must credit scores come into play and stop people from being able to purchase homes and stop lenders from being able to give them the loan that they need for their American dream, that home that they want to purchase? The national tests were available in October of 2009. However, in Georgia, many could not apply for this test at that time. They said that the Georgia test was available in January, but many could not find it online, and it was not ready at that time. The requirements for certification were available in other states last year. However, these mortgage industry persons were not provided those requirements until January of 2010. Then, once the requirements were received, they were only provided 3 months to complete the requirement and pass the certification test. They added 15 days when they asked for an extension. 15 days is not enough to go to classes, to take the test, and if you don't pass the test because you've never been tested for a job that you may have had 10, 20, or 30 years, and all of a sudden they have provided a test for it. That does not mean they were not doing the job. They were doing the job in a very special, great way because there were never any huge complaints. No provisions were made to grandfather those with extensive history or success, as was done in other industries. Last week, hundreds of providers, heads of households, and law-abiding citizens, tax-paying citizens, were put out of a job or out of business, and they can no longer support their families. So we're here today to ask the governor to extend the testing to the end of this year. That's what I say. If somebody's been in business for a long time, let that experience count for something. And next January, as soon as the session starts, we will put in legislation to try to grandfather in all of these worthy bank lenders and mortgage bankers. Thank you very much.